Hello everyone! My name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we got a special treat for you guys. So, some of you might have seen my Speedroid stream where I was playing the brand new cards. Now, normally, I would test new stuff on Edo Pro. But, I wanted to do a stream and Edo Pro actually didn't have those cards. So I found out, I had to go to Dueling Book for once. And Dueling Book didn't have them either. So I thought I was stuck. And my friend Crow let me know that actually the way that Dueling Book handles new cards is that people create custom cards and they just like copy the effect of the new card, and that way you can play with them early. So that's cool, right? But this introduced me to there's a whole slew of custom cards that you can just play with on Dueling Book. And people just make their own cards and they just have fun with it. And this is just the most funny thing I've ever seen. I've always been a fan of custom cards. I've made custom cards for Hearthstone. I've made custom cards for Legends of Runeterra. I've made custom Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I really like creating and making things. I'm a D&D player. That's what we do. But the idea of actually like having a simulator where you can play these instead of just making them and imagining what they'd be like is so cool to me. So today we're going to talk about some cool Speedroid custom cards that I saw and just have fun with it. Oh, let's see. I'll do this for, I don't know, 15 minutes. Let's have fun. All right, so we're going to search Speedroid. Now, obviously, a lot of these are going to be like the newer cards that came out, but we're going to find some like brand new, completely unique Speedroid cards. So let's see. These are all regular Speedroid cards. So let's find some other ones. Okay. Clearwing Speedroid Dragon. This is really funny. Hold on. Can I zoom in on the art? No, I can't. Okay. I mean, it looks like Clearwing Synchro Dragon about to like completely ruin someone's day. This is a level 7 Wind Dragon monster. Requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners. Once per turn, when a monster with a level activates its effect as a quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if that monster is face up on the field, its effects are negated until the end of this turn. Also, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack until the end of the next turn. That's pretty cool. This is basically the original Clearwing effect, except it doesn't destroy the monster. It negates the card's effects without targeting, which is really cool. It's not very common to have an effect that allows you to negate one card on the field without targeting it. So yeah, this is really nice. And then it gains the attack points until the end of the next turn instead of just until the end of this turn. So yeah, this is a really interesting take on Clearwing. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Synchro Dragon monster in your graveyard, return it to your extra deck, and if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect with Clearwing Speedroid Dragon once per turn. That's interesting. The ability to just return your Clearwings or your Crystal Wings to the extra deck to revive this card is really cool. Yeah, obviously, like the only real hiccup is that it's not a high Speedroid card. I understand that like Clearwind Speedroid Dragon sounds better than Clearwind High Speedroid Dragon, but the Synchro monsters are all high Speedroids for a reason. This is a cool idea. I really like this card. I think it would see a little bit of play. Especially, this card probably wouldn't see too much play in Speedroids, but it would probably see a lot of play in Zark. Because when you're talking about returning a Synchro Dragon from your graveyard to your extra deck to special summon this card, but you banish it when it leaves the field, that really sounds like you want to use it as Xyz material. So you can keep doing it. and the best deck that can use Speedroid and Clearwing monsters while also exceeding is Zark. So, cool idea. I like it a lot. And of course, we have the leveled up version, Crystal Wing Speedroid Synchro Dragon. So in this instance, the person spelled wing correctly instead of saying wind. This is a pendulum monster with a pendulum scale of 8, which is okay. Oh. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Alright. Pendulum effects. The effects of level 4 or lower Speedroid monsters you control cannot be negated. Solid. That is a really, really powerful effect. This is an extra deck monster, so you can't just play this card from your extra deck, which means that you can't use this effect on turn 1 in most cases. And by the time you've used it on turn 1, you've already used most of your Speedroid cards. But it's still a really interesting and cool effect. You can banish 2 Speedroid monsters whose total levels equal 8 from your field or your graveyard. Special summon this card from your Pendulum Zone. You can only use this effect of Crystal Wing Speedroid Synchro Dragon once per turn. Okay, so that second effect is very similar to Clearwing Fast Dragon's Pendulum effect, which is fair. Yeah, this is very much on theme for Speedroids. This basically feels like what if Clearwing Fast Dragon had an Excel, which is fine. So I like it. Now let's take a look at its monster effect. Okay, so this requires a Speedroid Tuner monster plus 1 non-tuner Synchro monster. So probably make this with a level 3 and then Higuita. Once per turn, when a spell or trap card or effect is activated as a quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And if you do that, for the rest of this turn, this card is unaffected by card types of that negated card. Interesting. Okay, so you can negate a spell, and if you can destroy the spell, Crystal Wing Speedroid Synchro Dragon is no longer affected by spells for the rest of the turn. That's a really cool little effect. I'm trying to think if there's any drawbacks for you. Speedroids don't really play any spells that affect their own board, so that would probably be fine. Interesting, you could play Dark Hole in this. You could play Dark Hole, and then you could negate your own spell card, and then just play Dark Hole afterwards, and Crystal Wing Speedroid Synchro Dragon would not be affected by your own Dark Hole. That's pretty cool. Let's see. If this card battles a level 5 or higher monster, during damage calculation, this card gains attack equal to the current attack of the opponent's monster is battling during that damage calculation only. If this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect while in your monster zone, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone. Okay, so the second effect is literally just Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon's effect, which is a little disappointing. I mean, it's a good effect, don't get me wrong, but I was hoping for something a little bit more unique. This is definitely cool. I like the art. This card would see play, definitely. A Pendulum Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon would see play. The ability to negate a spell card instead of a monster card is much worse. And the Speedroid Tuner restriction is a little bit rough for... It makes the card a little bit easier to play and balance, because now you don't have to worry about it being poached by other decks. But there are enough Speedroid Tuner monsters that, Speedroids have seen play, Cash Tira, so you could play this in like a non-Speedroid deck still. It wouldn't be as good as Crystal Wing is, but it would still probably function. I still think this is a good card, and I like it a lot. Alright, this is the card that when I saw it, this is when I decided to make the video. So, I don't know, if you guys look at the art, it's literally just an anime character's face in shock. That is that is the type of meme card I want to see. So let's take a look at it. Dark Contract with the Speedroid mechanics. Yes, this is my face when I have to play Speedroids. It's a continuous spell. During your main phase, you can add 1 Double D Tuner monster from your deck to your hand. That is very specific. How many Double D Tuners are there? You can only use this effect of Dark Contract with the Speedroid mechanics once per turn. If you're Synchro Summon, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. That target has its effects negated until the end of this turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. Okay, this is literally a Double D card that just mentions Speedroids for no reason. Still really funny. I mean, okay. There are some good tuners. Night Howl's a good tuner. I think Lamaya is okay. Yeah, Double D has some synchros. That's really funny. This would probably see play, to be honest. Double D needs as much search as possible, so an extra card that searches for them is completely fine, and they love their spell cards that deal damage to themselves. So yeah. The negate is a soft one, which is important because they have a normal summon that bounces their own continuous spells. So that's interesting. I like it a lot. All right, what else we got? I'm having fun. We're already at 10 minutes. How are we already at 10 minutes? I've only looked at 3 cards. Okay. Gamble Heart Speedroid Dice Lot Guardian. Level 1 machine monster. During your main phase, you can roll it says a dice. It should say a 6-sided dice. And if you do, you can make one monster on the field gain levels equal to the result until the end of the turn. Okay, so that's a can effect. Okay, I like that. There's a little bit of a gamble, but you don't have to use the effect if you don't like the result. That's cool. I like it. When a card or effect is activated that would roll a die, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard as a quick effect. Not once per turn. Okay, no, wait, neither of these effects is once per turn. So you can just roll, whoa. Okay, never mind, this card's terrible. During your main phase, you can roll a die, and if you do, you can make one monster gain on the field gain levels equal to the result until the end of the turn. That's not even gambling. So the fact that you have no penalty for failure and you can do it as many times as you want, that's not gambling. That is literally just you saying, okay, I'm going to roll a die until I get the number that I want. No, this is terribly designed. Okay, so if both these effects were a hard once per turn, this would be a very interesting card. The fact that it's not a tuner is really, really cool. But no. The fact that you could just literally like revive this infinitely if you have some way to roll a die over and over again is stupid. Apparently it's limit 1 also. Alright. High Speedroid BB Blaster. I do not know what the BB stands for. I assume that this is like a BB gun because they're kids' toys. What level is that? 9? 3, 6, 9. Okay. 2800 attack, 2000 defense. Machine requires 1 Speedroid tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner wind synchro monsters. Oh yes, oh yes. It's well documented that people will use more than 1 non-tuner synchro monster when they synchro summon, of course. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. If your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can roll a 6-sided die, negate that monster's effects, then increase or decrease that monster's level by the number rolled. That's a really cool effect. That's a really cool effect. Nice monster, bro. Let me just mess up its level and also negate its effects. Yeah, I like it a lot. If a synchro monster is special summoned to the field with an equal or higher level than this card while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You may only use this effect once per turn. Okay. That's really cool. So basically, if you summon like a level 1 tuner and you use this to make Barone, you immediately get this back. That's dumb. That's that's really dumb. It's if a synchro monster is special summon, not synchro summon, that's a problem. That should absolutely not be the case. This is the only drawback of this card. This card's great. It's completely in line with Speedroids. It rolls die, it has negates, and it cares about Excel synchros and messing with levels. All those things are completely in line with Speedroids. Love the artwork, love the card, the stats are good. It should say if a synchro monster is synchro summoned to the field. As long as it has that effect, this card is golden. But special summon, like, that has too many, like, you don't want to, like, Chaos Angel. It is also weird that this card doesn't win lock you. I understand that win locking is, like, annoying for Speedroid players, but it's completely in theme as well. Yeah, so this should say if a wind synchro monster is synchro summoned to the field with an equal or higher level than this card, and then the rest of it. Those two things, and then this card is like a perfect boss monster for Speedroids. I love it. Okay. High Speedroid Battle Advancements. Isn't this literally just a Raid Raptor? This artwork is literally, yeah, it has a little Raid Raptor thing on it. This is just a Raid Raptor. This looks like Sharplanius to me, I think. Level 4. Machine Synchro. Yeah, the Darkwing Beast is now a wind machine because this person decided so. It is white, I guess. One tuner plus one or more non-tuners. Level 4 is an awkward level for Speedroids. It's not impossible, but it's definitely, like, there's got to be, like, a really good reason to go into a level 4. Once per turn, you can either target one monster on the field, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon an attack position. While equipped by this effect, that target gains 1,000 attack points. If that target destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster in the graveyard. This is terrible. This is not a Speedroid card at all. What does this have to do with Speedroids? This is a Raid Raptor card. I mean, it's a cool Raid Raptor card. I like it. You should make this an Xyz monster. It'd be great. But why is this a Synchro monster and why is it a Speedroid? No. This is an interesting card. If this was like Raid Raptor Auxiliary Falcon or something like that, and this would be like a top tier edit, but it's not. High Speedroid Beyblade. It is a Synchro monster with no level, no attack points, and no defense points. I am 100% in. What is this? Let's see. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing one wind Synchro monster you control, and if you do, this card's name and level become that monster's, and replace this effect with that monster's original effect. Also, this card gains attack and defense equal to the original attack and defense of the banished monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, send one wind monster from your main deck or your extra deck to the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. That is a really interesting idea. So, essentially, this card allows you to take advantage of the fact that Clearwing, Crystal Wing, and a lot of high Speedroid monsters have soft once per turns on their effects to get the effect of the card to activate again, but during your turn. I don't think that's too yeah. I don't think that's unbalanced. You couldn't use this to duplicate Kite Drake because Kite Drake is a hard once. And if you use this to like duplicate negates, who cares? It's your turn. If you use this card to basically like reset a negate when you're going second, trying to break your opponent's board, that's just cool. That's just a cool use of your cards. Yeah, this card is absolutely worthless going first. So having it in your extra deck solely when you go second, or like trying to make a blind second Speedroids, this is awesome. I really like this card. The person who made this card understood the benefit of Speedroids, understood the value of Speedroids, and understood how to make a card that was beneficial to play in Speedroids, but wasn't overpowered. This is literally like, this is a card you would never play in Duel Links, but it's a card that would be amazing in Speedroids because, first of all, they win lock themselves. So you really don't have a whole lot of tech space in your extra deck, but you also run out of tuner monsters. So it doesn't make sense to play like a bunch of Synchro monsters that you're going to make eventually, but you also don't really want to link summon too much. So this is like a card that like would be a great 14th and maybe even 15th slot in your extra deck, just to like really make this card work. Each effect once per turn. Yeah. So it's, you can only do this once per turn. So yeah, this is, well, No, okay. All right. Minor hiccup. Very minor. I gotta put on my rules lawyer glasses here. It says that you can only use each effect of High Speedroid Beyblade once per turn. Clearly, the indication is that the entire card is a once per turn. But the first part of the card is an inherent special summon, not an effect. So it would need to say you can only special summon High Speedroid Beyblade once per turn this way, and then it would need to say later you can only use this effect once per turn. But I mean, it's very clear that was the person's intention. So this is a very well designed card. There was just a minor hiccup in the way that they formatted it, which is just it's like a 9 out of 10 card instead of a 10 out of 10. Excellent. 20 minutes. Okay, let's wrap this up. These are really funny. But I can't like make like an hour-long video of this. High Speedroid changing car. This is a machine. This looks like a dragon. Actually, this looks like Greninja. Is this just Greninja as a Speedroid? Look at this. Interesting. One tuner plus one or more non-tuner synchro monsters. This is a level 7. While this card is equipped to a wind synchro monster, the first time it would be destroyed by battle or a card effect each turn is not destroyed. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During your main phase, you could send one level 5 or higher wind machine monster from your field, deck, or extra deck to the graveyard and special summon up to 2 Speedroid monsters from your graveyard whose levels are less than the sent monsters, but cards with the same name as those monsters can activate their effects in the graveyard this turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one monster you control and equip this card to it. What is with people making equip cards for Speedroids? It's not what Speedroids do at all. I can understand, like, oh, Speedroids have to synchro climb, so giving their synchro monsters good grave effects is cool. But first of all, this is already an Excel synchro because it requires a non-tuner synchro monster already. And secondly, like, you wouldn't... The first time it would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, it's not destroyed. It's like, it's an okay effect. There are better things that you can do with your graveyard. This is not in theme for Speedroids at all. The artwork looks great. It's kind of depressing, actually. Like, this is a really interesting idea for a card, like a level 7 Excel synchro that could potentially set up a level 10 or a level 12. But it falls so flat. If this was like a more like a in-theme Speedroid card, this would be really cool. We got High Speedroid Clearwing Aerodrone. Once again, people are just drawing Raid Raptors and calling them Speedroids. Level 7 Machine Synchro, 2000 attack, 2500 defense. So it has reversed stats for Clearwing. Cool. One tuner, one or more non-tuners. Quick effect. You can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Speedroid, Clearwing, and or Synchro Dragon monsters you control. Destroy them. Also, this card cannot use this effect next turn. So, so this is just Speedroid Ice Jade. Yeah, Mirror Blade the Ice Jade Dragon is like a really cool card that has a very unique way of balancing its really powerful effect. I think more cards should be like Mirror Blade the Ice Jade Dragon. So you know what? Marks. Like, this is a really powerful effect, but at the same time, Speedroids already have Kite Drake, so popping the field is not that big of a deal for them on their turn. So this is like, the main benefit is it's a quick effect, but then you can't use it on your own turn as well. So it's like really, it's a good going first card, but it's not a negate. So, and the fact that Speedroids have access to so many negates makes this card worse, because you would have to choose to make this card over a negate. And would you do that? Maybe. But if you did, you definitely pay a price for it. So this is like a really carefully balanced card, which is very interesting. The artwork is so mediocre that I was not expecting much, and the name wasn't that impressive, but the card balance is actually really surprisingly good. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one level 7 or lower Clearwing or Synchro Dragon Synchro monster from your extra deck or your graveyard. If special summon from the extra deck, it is treated as a synchro summon. Wow! Okay. Is this a quick effect? It's not a quick effect. Okay, hold on. Alright, let's think about this. So, you make this on turn 1, and you pop. Then on turn 3, you can't pop. You use this as material. You make, like, Crystal Clearwing. Then you can't use its second effect, because it was sent to the graveyard this turn. Then on turn 5, you can use this card to get a free Synchro Summon. But the game is not going to last until turn 5. That's so cool. This is a really well-designed card. You know what? If the new stuff hadn't come out, this would see play. I can say this for certain. If the new stuff did not push us to play level 12s, this card would 100% see play. in Speedroids. That's so cool. 10 out of 10. Whoever designed this card, you did amazing. I don't even want to keep going. Let's end it on a high note. There you go, chat. If you guys like these cards, then let me know, and I'll review more of them, and I'll do different archetypes. And you guys can comment below what archetypes you want me to review for custom cards. And if you want to make your own custom cards, let me know too. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.